Welcome. Today on Legion Outpost. We're going to be talking about what it looks like to go to a grand tournament, and is competitive play for you. Should you play competitive play? Now, here's what I'm going to say. The game of Legion is a wonderful game to play in many different ways. You can play it just with friends for fun, and also you can play with a real competitive edge, but as long as you still have fun doing it, that's the most important thing, I guess. I know competitively you want to win, and who doesn't want to win even when they're sitting with their friends at the table? Now, for me, I decided that I needed to start playing more competitive play because I wanted to see what it was like to play different people. And one of the biggest benefits of playing competitively is you get to play people that you wouldn't normally get to play. So you get to play different skill levels, you get to see different people's play style, you get to see different lists. Because I know my group, there's about 6 of us that play regularly. The group can get up to 12 or so people, but you seem to see the same list over and over again, or maybe tweaks of the list, or maybe one person only has a certain faction, and so you see a lot of the same faction, or you just end up playing the same people and you realize that you're beating them all the time, and and you don't know if you're any good or if you're just playing people that aren't good, and or I shouldn't say not good, because everybody's good at some level, but like that aren't challenge you anymore because you've learned their tendencies or whatever. And so I think competitive play is a good thing to do. Now, at first, when you sign up for a tournament, you don't know what to expect. Now, most store tournaments, you're going to see 8 to 12 people, maybe 8 to 16 people, and they're very fun going, easy going. There are, like, people want to win, and they do compete because they pay money to go to this, and there are prizes and stuff, and so it is competitive. You want to win, but it's generally, people are pretty easygoing and they want to help you get better, especially if you tell them you're new and you're trying to learn a bit more, grow, and then you have an opportunity. So I played on the competitive scene in an Armada for a little while, but I really like Legion, and so I hadn't played much competitive. I understand the game really well. I play a lot of the game, but I hadn't played much competitive. So I started, saying, why not to my group of guys I play with? Why don't we go and travel and play some competitive tournaments in the area? And there's not a lot in my area, to be honest. I live in Canada and I live in Ontario. Recently, they've been popping up a little more, but there was a grand tournament in Hamilton, Ontario, in the fall of 2024, if you're watching this in the future. And I said, why not try and see where I am? Now, my goal, okay, first, let me put it this way. I play Rebels. And Rebels at this point in the stage are not a strong list. And so my goal was just to finish with a winning record. That was my goal going into this tournament. And yeah, you always want to win all the games you play. You want to go 3-0. But I just wanted to see how good I can do with the Rebels. Now, I almost at the last minute changed to a Gar list because I was thinking, hey, I could be more competitive that way. But I felt like if I did that, I would be kind of ripping myself off because I wouldn't be playing what I really am passionate about. And I'm really passionate about the Rebels. So I went with a Rebel list. And to be honest, I have clones in my Rebel list because I have Bad Batch. And I think pretty much Bad Batch is the best way to play Rebels. And so if you're not playing Rebels with Bad Batch, you should look into it because right now, where we are, that's one of our best units. And so my list was very simply Han, Sabine. Wow, why can't I even? I could grab it. Okay. It was 2 Pathfinders. It was 3 naked Rebel troopers, 2 Ewoks that just had Force Dweller, and a Clan Ren, Sabine, Han, Stardust, and I already named the other person, Bad Batch. So that was my list. And so was really trying to, be quite mobile and somewhat defensive if I could be with rebels. And so the reality is, for the most part, I succeeded. My first game was hard. I played a guy that I've seen before at other tournaments who won other tournaments at. He was playing droids. It wasn't a good mix for me. I didn't do well in my first match in the sense that I had a hard go at it. He had two snail tanks, which are really good now with experimental droid snail tanks. And so I wasn't going to try to take them out. I was going to try to win on, capturing points and stuff. And I was doing really well. I was up 8-5 going into the fourth round. And everything was going pretty good. We came down to our last kind of play in the fourth round. And he was starting to put pressure and he was starting to catch up. And I could win if I kept Sabine alive. But the problem was he knew that too. And so he targeted Sabine with everything he had. Survived a couple rolls. She got down to 1 health. And then the final roll of the round, I think he hit 9 hits on her or more. I don't know, a lot anyways. And I needed a miracle to stay alive because she had 1 health. And so I rolled all my dice and it was looking good. I had a lot of blocks. But 1 dice turned up not blocking. And that was the end of that. So he beat me in that game 10-9. And so it was close, but he beat me because time was running out. We didn't get to go to the 5th round, 10-9. And then from there, I went to my second game, and I was playing a Blizzard Force list with 2 ATSTs and General Veers, and Sabine was the all-star, like really the all-star in this one. She bombed his snowtroopers, his General Veers, and his 2 heavy stormtrooper units, and left them pretty much dead, and they were cleaned up by Han. And yeah, it was pretty good, and I won on victory points at the end of round 3. We made it, and I had 10 to, I want to say 4, 10-4 in that one. And so it was a very good round for me. And then I went and played a clone player, and I ended up winning 11-5. And it was the one where you got to contest the middle, and I just held back the clones long enough to, kind of put pressure in the middle and took the middle round every turn, and he couldn't push towards that. Bad Batch was the all-star in that game, killing a ton of people. Sabine's bomb did really get well again, but Bad Batch was the all-star with its moving and shooting and just kind of ducking in and out and staying alive and keeping the point. But that was a lot of fun. But the reason isn't just to go to experience the games and win. If you're at a bigger tournament, there's lots of door prizes. They had tables and walls of door prizes here because this was the Canadian Open. And the awesome opportunity there was you got to win things, and a lot of people walked away with a lot of prizes, and you got to meet a lot of new people. And for me, going to this tournament was nice because I got to meet some new people, see some different players. And this tournament was won by Luke Cook, and his group came up and they ended up winning. And let's just go show you the tournament. And so the finals was Luke Cook came in first. He was playing a clone army, Anakin in his clone army, and 3 commandos. It was pretty dominant. Second place was a clone army 2. Surprise, surprise. And then third place was also a clone army. And the good thing about this tournament, there was some rebels in the top 8. Sam Solo and his rebel lists were in the top 8. It was a real mix. Then Jordan was number 5. That's who I lost to in the first round. He was playing experimental droids. Alexander Murray was playing an Emperor list. And then Chris Cook playing an Emperor list, and Thomas O'Brien playing a Rebel list, and that was your top 8 that was after the cut. Before the cut, a little bit of difference in the top 8. One person dropped, and Chris Cook joined the top 8, and then there's me at 13, playing Rebels. So I was third best Rebel player of that game. But I had a 2-1 record, and the 2-1 record was pretty much everybody from 5 to 18, I believe. 17, 5 to 17, had a 2-1 record in this tournament. And so that was the big thing there was a lot of 2-1. And so your strength of schedule, that's the one thing about tournaments. You could score the same as somebody else as 2-1, or even have more kill points, but strength of schedule makes a difference. And here's the problem: is you don't get to choose who you get to play. So you don't know if you're playing really stronger players or not, but you are going to be playing different players. And so when you get there, and you randomly get placed with people, you get to play that person. Like, I would love to play somebody that I knew was really, really great, just to see where I stacked up. And I don't think I was outplayed in any of the matches. I had some really bad luck, but that's dice games, and I'm not blaming that. I felt every game was competitive, and that's what you want to do. You know, because it doesn't matter if you win or lose sometimes. Sometimes it's more important just to know that you're competitive in the games. And I felt very competitive in every game I played. I didn't feel like I was being blown out. And I don't know if that's just because the new rules put you in that place. Now, here's the other thing I want you to know. This is the first time playing in a tournament with the new rules. Now, that's a lot of people's cases in this. But that was also something that take into this. So yeah, I think you should play competitive. If you're just sitting around your gaming table and you're having fun with it, that's great. Enjoy that. But challenge yourself. Go out and find a tournament in your area, even if it's a small store tournament, just to see different people playing different things and mixing up your playing style and different things. But the other thing about this is you get to meet some great people, and I got to meet some great people. You know, I'm not going to dox them, but DS, so, well, they're in this list, so you could find them. But anyways, David, he was a great guy. I got to meet him, get to hang out with him, spent some time with him, ate lunch with him, and he walked away really good. That he bought tickets for the tournament, and I think he made his money back and some, because he won a core set, he won a Fluttercraft, I think he won a couple other things. Even I won a pack of Death Troopers, which basically paid for my tournament, and then I won this really cool. In the door prizes, I won this really cool Porkins poster, which is kind of cool. And then, of course, for playing, you got free stuff given to you. And if you made the top 16, you also got some cards given to you. And so, now the thing about these cards, they're all cool full art cards, every single one of them. And they're 16. But not one of these cards are playable anymore. All these cards have been redone with the new rules. It would have been nice if they might have kept or knew ahead and kind of released this year's prizes for cards that actually are under the new rules and stuff. But hey, I'm not too worried about it. Now, another reason that it's good to play and go to these things is because you get to play on different boards with different terrains. There are so many great terrain boards that were made there, and I just got a few pictures there. You can see of the different terrain that we played on, and I had lots more pictures. But here's the thing, and I said, you get to meet great people, and that's the key. I had a wonderful time, and if you're into these type of games, there's nothing like going with a bunch of people that you have an opportunity to meet and hang out and get to make new friends, get prizes. There's a good chance you get more prizes than you put out for the day. But the other big thing, and not about the prizes, as I said, it's not about the winning so much, it's about having fun, but it's about the experience of getting to know other people who like Star Wars and the games and the plays. And here they had X-Wing going on, and they had Shatterpoint going on, and I got to talk to some of the guys from Shatterpoint, got to talk about the guys with X-Wing, and you make connections too. And so one of the connections I made, I found a company that makes mats for the games. So I bought a couple of them, and they are called Table Bound. They're a Canadian company, and they've got some good mats. They're still growing their thing, but I really appreciated meeting them, hanging out and connecting with them, and getting to know them a little bit better. And so it's a great opportunity for anybody. So I'm telling you, yeah, you should play competitive. Not only should you play competitive, you should continue to try to better yourself in everything you do. It makes you also think about when you're painting, hey, how do I get better? Because I look at some of the people's paintings, I'm like, whoa, those paintings are cool. The one guy painted his speeder bikes, and there was like, he did a beautiful dust coming off, covering the flight stand. It just looked awesome. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. And so it was great to see the different people and the takes they take on their models, and yeah, I can't stop recommending it. And so go ahead, you know, go on Longshanks. Longshanks is a great little thing, and I'm going to show you back to Longshanks here. Longshanks is a great little thing. Not only can you see other people's lists and prepare for your thing, it allows you to see where your tournaments are in your local area. Just search your area. And so I just searched Canada and Ontario, and I just saw all the tournaments, and it lets you know what's going on, because sometimes it's hard to find tournaments. And so Longshanks allowed me to do that, and that's where I started signing up for tournaments. And I'm going to a few more, and I hope you take the chance and go out and go to a couple tournaments. Now, I have some giveaways. I talked about last week, those deluxe scoreboards and stuff. They are going to be released. I'm going to do the giveaway on my next video. So if you still want to get in on those deluxe scoreboards, just type down in you got to like, you got to subscribe, and you can type down in the thing 2.6. And if you type 2.6 in your message, you'll be added into the 2.6 deluxe scoreboard giveaway, and I have 2 basic scoreboards too. I can't wait to see you guys again, and until then, may the force be with you.